Hey, how's it going, guys? I've sort of pivoted from the online content that I've been making, and I've organized and I've co-facilitated a couple workshops in person with people over the last couple months. The first one was called Reflections, Vision, and Tapping into Your Shadow. Very much about examining like where you're at in your life, the limiting mindset and beliefs that are stopping you from getting from where you are to where you want to get to, and looking at the like repressed side of our personality, our shadow side, as Carl Jung called it, and seeing that we actually have this entire like sub like dark personality that we just don't identify with, and that there are actually personality characteristics within us that if we learn to see and tap into, we can actually use these different personality characteristics to solve the challenges that our personality that we identify with is clearly struggling with. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having the challenges. We would solve them. So that was the first workshop. It went really well. We got a lot of good feedback. And I just co-facilitated another workshop yesterday. And I just want to give like Justine huge fucking shout out to my co-facilitator, my like confidant, who really like pushed me and came up with the idea for us to facilitate this workshop in the first place. We did that in mid-December when she was home visiting from teaching English in South Korea. She's back there right now. So Justine, I'm sure you're watching. Hello, hello. Love you. And a big shout out to my co-facilitator, Jordan. Man, like I met this guy at this meditation wellness center, and we kind of like we clicked. Young guy here from Australia, quit his corporate job to follow his dream and figure out his passion and how he can provide like value and service to others and create really great content to help people grow and stuff, and just like tap into this community of people who are into like spirituality and personal growth and like holistic health, and like how can we really shift our ideas of like what success means in our life and all this stuff. So huge shout out to Jordan as well. We co-facilitated our first workshop together yesterday, and this one was called Tapping into Your Higher Self, and it was a meditation workshop. And it also like went really well. We had 6 people show up. There's the 2 of us, and yeah, it's just like a really great conversation about meditation, the power of meditation, and of like tapping into yourself and tapping into like these parts of ourselves that like we don't understand or that we repress, if it's our shadow side, or like really tapping into like who we actually are, what we actually want to be doing, what makes us happy, who makes us happy, and just like being able to see the beliefs and the mindset that are holding us back from where we are to like where we want to get to with whatever area of our life, whatever part of ourselves that we want to change, and like we just are stuck. Like meditation can really help you go inside and examine all of this stuff. So it can be really, really powerful. And what sort of prompted me to make this video is that, you know, like I decided to do this work and, you know, take the risk, develop the workshop, facilitate the workshop. And even though I'm doing this work, I really tend to not celebrate myself, not celebrate the wins, not celebrate the work that I've actually done, the progress I've actually made. I have a real tendency to like just like brush it off as nothing and focus on all of the shit that I'm not doing, all of the shit that I'm still struggling with. And if you're doing anything, you know, in your work life, your personal life, you're progressing in any way, like please just remember you got to celebrate the wins, man. Like you really got to like acknowledge yourself for like how far you've come, because we don't see the changes that we that we go through and that we cause in our own life when we look at yesterday and when we look at tomorrow, when we look at like, what do I still need to do that I'm not doing? Because it's just easier for some of us, like me, to look at the negative kind of perspective of like, yeah, but I didn't do this yet. And just really try to remember how far you've actually come from where you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, where you were a year ago, with just like your beliefs, your mindset, your health, your progress in your career towards whatever goals. Like, you probably have made a lot of progress that, if you're anything like me, you're just like really not giving yourself credit for. And I facilitated this workshop yesterday with Jordan, and it went really well. Lots of validation. And then I had just like a super, super powerful conversation with my roommate last night. It was sort of like this conversation between like my higher self and where I want to get to, and like my lower, smaller, scared self of like where I am right now that I identify with, that like I don't know how to get from here, from where I am, to like where I want to get to. And so it was just sort of like this really interesting framework of how to actually use meditation to go within yourself, to actually recognize that you have this future self, this higher self that's like full of infinite potential to like do everything you want to do, be everything you want to be, and like live the most amazing life possible that you want to live. And there are people out there doing it. So by virtue of being a human being, you have the same ability and opportunity and potential to fulfill your unlimited potential. But that you also have this smaller self that's based in fear and scarcity and your ego and your shortcomings. And that meditation has certainly helped me, and it can help you to actually recognize that you have both of these like selves living inside of you at the same time, and that you can actually have a conversation between these two parts of yourself to like figure out what's holding you back. What are the benefits of holding on to your old identity? What are the payoffs? What's it actually giving you? What sort of security is that giving you? Because you're afraid to go into the unknown, to actually do the work, to like take actions that are in alignment with who you want to become, with your higher self. And you can actually have a conversation between these two parts of yourself. And like, that might sound weird, but it's like, it's a super, super powerful concept to understand and to engage in that process within yourself, that like you can become who you want to become, but you have to let your old self die. You have to shed your old identity, and that can be really scary, and it holds us back. But I'm gonna cut this off. Jordan and I are gonna be facilitating some meditation workshops and like continuing this conversation at the end of every month for the next few months. And I invite you to join the conversation and hit me up with DM if you want some more info about the upcoming workshops and to be part of this. 'Cause yeah, it's great.